Hey everybody, my name's Alex. I am the Alex from the Morrises, and my wife and my son and I, we do daily vlogs. You guys should check that out too. But I figured we start my own channel, start my own stuff on gaming. She's got hers with her interests, and I have my own interests. I know, crazy, right? But I'd like to start it off with my gamer tag on Xbox One is Brother Alex. And Alex is not spelled the conventional way, it's the way that I always liked, which is A-L-E-K-S. And if any of you guys want to check it out and play games with me, hit me up, let me know. Brother Alex spaced out. And I try and be on Xbox fairly often, but of course, I have a son, his need, he wants to play cars, read books, so I'm going to play cars and read books with him. So I figure one of the first things we can start doing on my channel is game reviews. I play a lot of games, so why not give it a shot? And the game that I'm first going to review is Destiny. Boom, boom, boom. Now, this game, I don't know how many of you guys have played it. It's been out for, I think, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, somewhere along the line, about 2 months. And I've been playing the stuff out of it with me and my friends. I have 2 characters, almost 3 characters, all at the level 20, and it's been a ton of fun. It reminds me of Halo, it reminds me like a mixture of Call of Duty, it reminds me of a mixture of a bunch of games all put in one, which is really interesting. So the concept of basically the underlying link of the game is it's a first-person shooter with tones of MMORPG, and I guess really that's really about it to do the main understanding of it. So the game is first-person shooter. You run around. You have in the original launch you have 4 planets. You have Earth, the Moon. I don't know technically it's not a planet, but considered an area. So the Moon, Venus, and Mars. And that's the basis of the story missions. Now your story missions, you have 3 people you can have in a max fire team. A fire team is what you call your party that you run around with your friends. Now, luckily enough for me, I don't really have more than 2 close people on at the same time, so that makes it perfect for 3 people. So you can run around with 3 people in your fire team, and most of the time it's me and 2 close buddies, and we do a lot of the story missions, and you have these things you can get called bounties. And what a bounty is you run around and it gives you a specific task that you have to follow, which can be spaced out all over the place. There's stuff like earn 9,000 experience without dying, melee kill 30 enemies without dying, kill a specific rare boss or just generic boss, complete a certain mission with certain modifiers, this goes on. And then at the same time, there's story missions, and then there's Crucible. And what Crucible is, it's your multiplayer aspect of it. And just like you have story bounties, you have Crucible bounties. And I personally like playing Crucible a lot. I've always been a multiplayer fan. I've loved Call of Duty, Halo, all those games, all those first-person shooter games, and I've liked the MMORPGs like World of Warcraft. And the multiplayer part is the most interesting part to me because it gives you the ability to play with other people, test your own skills. You can play a story mission, you can play over and over again, you know the basis of a boss fight, so everybody's got one specific role. Boom, you do this, do this, do this, do this. Multiplayer throws that all up in the air. Right? You can have somebody that you're facing another team where they're all marksmen. They're just sitting in the back, kind of perfect accuracy, they know what they're doing, they're communicating, and then you run into groups where it's fun for me, especially when I'm playing with my buddies, is a group that has no idea what they're doing, and you can just dominate them the entire time. And I don't know how they feel about it, but it makes me feel good. So it makes me feel like my skill is decent, which it might not be, but I feel that it's alright. And I like the MMORPG part of it because it reminds me a lot of World of Warcraft. Now, just like in World of Warcraft and Destiny, you don't get everything handed to you. You gotta grind for it. Grinding is just basically doing the same missions and the same things over at progressively harder difficulties. So as soon as you reach max level, which in this game is 30, but a max level you gain based on experience is 20, you know, as soon as you get to level 20, you just don't get the best gear. You gotta work for it. So, you know, the people that are actually working for it, because in Crucible, they're just whooping on you the whole time. But they put in the time and the effort to get the best stuff in the game. The final part of Destiny that I'd like to talk about is the fact of the raid. Now, I can't speak on too much personal experience on it because I haven't fully played the raid through, but the little bit that I have played is awesome. So you get used to story mode, you get used to doing these certain areas, you get used to doing these certain bosses, and then you jump into the raid, and it's completely different. Now what the raid is it's a 6-person fire team going into a fight of basically bosses and scenarios that get progressively harder. So what may seem, when you play the story mode, it's super easy and you're like, oh, this game I can do anything in it. You jump into a raid, you gotta acquire 5 other people to go with you, and they all have to know what they're doing, and you guys have to communicate. If not, it's just gonna fall through. Just like it happens in any other game with raids or anything like that. Like when I played World of Warcraft, a raid is just a group of basically the hardest enemies you can get with the most tactics required to actually play and beat the raid. Now, of course, by beating the raid and beating it at progressive harder and beating it at harder difficulties, you get better and better items. The only way to reach max level in the game, which is currently level 30, is by completing the raid. And the only way to complete the raid is with 5 other people that you have to personally pick up. So unlike certain aspects of this game where, like the strike missions, where you just gain a group of people by starting it, raid doesn't do that. So you have to play with certain people. If you don't have friends that you personally know, you don't have enough friends that you personally know to play with, that you played Xbox with, then you basically have to go through, play strike missions, which are just essentially, you can think of as mini raids, right? Not as difficult as the raid, and they're tougher than the story missions, but you get automatically paired up with other people. Strike missions are required to 3 people every time. Doesn't mean that you can't do it with 1 person by jumping in with 3 people and then 2 of them backing out, and then you got a lone guy in it. But it automatically gives you 2 other people to go with you based on matchmaking. That's another note I'd like to put in, is this game requires online play. It doesn't require Xbox Live Gold or any of that. It does require you to be online at all times, because it is you connecting to a server to play. Now, in order to do anything like the raid or the Crucible or the strike missions where it connects you to other people, of course you're going to have Xbox Live Gold, because that's the way Xbox Live is set up. To wrap up my review, I would like to give a score to the Destiny game overall. And as an overall basis, I'd probably rate it an 8 to an 8.5. Not perfect, because there are a lot of flaws that I can see, or at least when I play. Like when you jump into Crucible in 9 out of 10 matches, it's people camping around corners with shotguns the entire game, or somebody sitting with a sniper rifle in the back the whole time. That's all they do. It doesn't make it fun. So the Crucible part brings down the game a little bit, but at the same time, story missions and the raid brings it up. It gives you that new sense of a first-person shooter. It gives you a new sense of gameplay overall, and it's definitely interesting. It's definitely different. If you're used to playing Call of Duty for the past, I don't know how long that game's been out accurately, at least 6, 7, 8 years. Because I started playing with on Call of Duty 4, and I know Call of Duty originally came out on the Xbox, and I've been playing it since the 360. So it definitely changed the pace from Call of Duty. It's definitely changed the pace than any other game we've played before. There is a mixture. You might feel like you get some vibe when you're used to playing Halo, or used to playing Borderlands, or playing any of those Xbox first-person shooter games. But this one kind of mixes those all in together and tries to create one hybrid game. Titanfall, I feel, did roughly the same thing, but Destiny does a smoother job of combining everything. So as an overall, I give it an 8.5. If you haven't checked it out, at least rent the game, check it out, go on to Twitch, watch some people play, because it's definitely interesting. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. If you like my game review, check it out, give it a subscribe, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to be posting game reviews every Saturday from here on, and I'm going to try and mix it up. I have a lot of Xbox One games, I play a lot of games on the phone, so I'd like to give everybody my point of view, what my thought process is. You can take it, you can leave it, but I'm a gamer, so I've got a lot of experience. I guess you could call it experience. It makes it funny because games, experience, ha 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 ha. But I've been playing them for, I can't remember, my mom got me into them playing the Super Nintendo. So, and you know how long the Super Nintendo has been since it came out. So, thanks again. If you guys like it, thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks, take it easy.